Hello? All right, good. All right. That was pretty good right there. So got that nice. Okay. So find the limit of a difference quotient. This thing right here is key to calculus. Key to calculus. Super, super important. It is the key to calculus. All right? So this is, finding a limit. So we're going to use this process to be able to find this. Now, what is this actually saying? What does that say? Loud and clear. Where? Where does that go? Where's it go? Okay, how about this? What does that say? X. Where does that go? Into the function f, right? Yeah. Okay, yeah, that was my, interpretive dance. I'm sorry. All right, so x goes into f, right? Yeah. X goes into f, the function. So that's what's plugging in. So if there was a 2 there, I plug in 2 into the f, right? Okay, good. All right, so now, this one right here, let's go back to this. What am I doing now?
You should put the x plus h.
X plus h, every place that says x. Okay? I know it's weird. I know it's wonky. Okay, now, I'm going to give you the reason behind this. So, I like doing this, okay? We have a graph. Okay? This is just some graph, randomly. Okay, so I have right here, this is going to be my x. And this is going to be h. Right? Okay, there's x, there's h. I don't know where it is, but it's somewhere. Okay, so on a line, this one right here, so let's take a look. So I'm going to go like this. This point right here would be called f of x, right? This would be f of x. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. How about this point right here? Okay, but this is some arbitrary number that I'm adding to this. So I don't know where this thing is going to be at. I don't know. I know it's going to be somewhere, but it's going to be somewhere. Okay? So what I'm going to do is to figure out where there is, I know there. I don't know there. Because there is just like, all right, plus something, right? So this value is going to be, so let's pretend like this is, I'm adding 5. I'm just pretending, okay? So you guys could think this with numbers. If you think about it with numbers, that makes the concepts a little bit more applicable. All right, so if this, I'm adding 5, right? So to whatever value that is for x, I would say this is going to be x plus 5. So no matter what my x is, to figure out h, I would just add 5, right? That's the same thing for this concept over here. So this point right here is going to be my f of, okay, x plus h. Because I'm adding some arbitrary value to my x. So I don't know what this is going to be yet, but it's going to be something. So to figure out what the second one is, I'm just going to add it. So I'm going to add it to my x value, which hopefully I will know. Okay? So now I have 2 points, don't I? I have this point here and this point here. Now, if I want to find the slope of this, I do the slope formula. So I'm going to speak Mathanese for a second, then I'm going to translate it. So for this, it would be the change in y over the change in x. So that would be delta x over delta y. Symbolically, delta y over delta x. Sorry. There we go. Sorry, YouTube. Sorry. Okay. Hopefully my mistake doesn't end up, anyway. All right. Delta y over delta x. So the change in x divided by the change in y, which just means y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Slope formula. That's all it is. So fancy terminology for that. All right, so now I'm going to use that information that we've been using since like 7th grade, okay, to actually figure this out. All right, what is y from the second point? F of x plus h minus, what is y from my first point? F of x. Over, what is x from my second point? H, right? So it's going to be h, right? Okay, so are you sure it's just h though?
Yes.
Nope. Not just h.
F of F?
Nope.
F of H?
Nope.
No.
Say it. X plus h,
And then,
right?
yeah.
Because remember, it's some value that I added to this one right here, right? It's a value I added to this. So this one right here would be x plus h minus,
X. And then combine my terms.
okay? Because it's some arbitrary value I added to that to get to that. So now, combining like terms, just like he said, I'm going to come up with f of x plus h minus f of x all over h. So what does this actually do for me?
It finds the slope
Find the slope where?
at any point.
At a point. Okay? At a point when I know the x, right? When I know the x, because whatever it is going to be, I did the math, and this is slope formula, and I've been able to do all of this to figure out the slope of a line at a single point x. That right there is huge. That's like the biggest thing. That is like 2 months of calculus in one slide right now. Finding the slope of a line at a point. Okay? Let's apply it over here now. For this one right here, find the difference quotient. Okay, what does difference quotient say to do? This thing right here. Let's plug in. All right, so if I'm plugging in, that means I'm going to plug in my x plus h, right? So it's going to be 2 quantity x plus h squared minus 3 quantity x plus h, right? Minus f of x, which is 2x squared minus 3x plus 1.
You
You
forgot.
forgot the plus one on the other side.
I did? Oh, thank you, thank you. All right. 3x plus h plus 1 minus 2x squared minus 3x plus 1. And all that's going to be over h. All right, doing these problems is algebra intensive. So you need to remember the shortcuts. You need to remember the tricks for factoring. Okay, if you're squaring a binomial, there's a trick to it. There is. It's going to be the first one squared, okay? The middle is going to be 2 times those two together, and then it's going to be the last one squared. So I'm going to write this out. It's going to be 2 quantity. That's going to be x squared plus 2xh plus h squared, right? Minus 3x plus 3h plus 1 minus, now when I do this, I have to make sure I do this, because otherwise I'm going to screw up the whole darn thing. Okay, I have to parentheses my second function, because I'm going to be subtracting the whole function. That means I have to distribute a negative into the entire thing. That's going to be one of the key trip ups as you guys are doing this. So let's go ahead to minus 2x squared plus 3x minus 1. All that's going to be over h, but I'll leave that in a minute because I'm almost done. All right, let's go ahead and distribute that 2 and see if I can combine any like terms on the right-hand side. So it's going to be 2x squared plus 4xh plus 2h squared. Now the minus 3x and the plus 3x go away, don't they? Okay, so plus 3h, the plus 1 and the minus 1 go away also, don't they? Yeah, but I still got this thing to deal with too. I still got that. And what's going to take care of that? This one out here. So I'm going to get rid of that and that. So I'm going to have this right here. So I'm going to rewrite it first so you guys can see this. So it's 2, then I'll move it over to a new slide. H squared plus 4xh plus 3h.
Asho,
Yes.
wouldn't it be minus 3h instead of this?
Minus 3h. Where's my h's?
It's minus 3 times x plus h, so they would be negative.
You right. Thank you. All right. Remind me to give you a sticker here in a minute.
Okay.
So that means that this one is also wrong. Yes. Minus 3h, and then minus 3h there. All right, there we go. All right, so I'm going to carry this over to a new slide. All right, so you guys help me with it. What was it? 2? Yeah, okay, good. So 2h squared, 4xh. Now, don't forget, all that was supposed to be over
H.
Okay, this is the next key step to this. This is the key step. So on this key step right now, you need to come out with an F-bomb right now. Factor, what am I factoring? Do the entire numerator have an H? Yes. When you do this, you will always be able to factor out the H. If you did your algebra correctly, you will always be able to factor out your H. That's the whole reason for all of this. So as I factor out the H, I'm going to take one out of there, and then I'm going to cancel it. So H, 2H plus 4x minus 3 all over H. Yes?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That goes away. So I'm left with 2h plus 4x minus 3. All right, there's my difference quotient there. There's my difference quotient. Okay, so I did the difference quotient. Now, find the limit as h approaches 0. So what that means, limit as h approaches 0. So now it's going to be limit as h approaches 0, and this goes along with the difference quotient all the time, of 2h plus 4x minus 3. So if it is as h approaches 0, as h approaches 0, what do I get?
0. We get
4x minus 3.
Okay, so I'm going to get that this is 4x minus 3. Now, what we just did, using all of this, okay, using difference quotient, it's always going to be as the limit as h approaches 0. When I did that, because what happened? What happened to my h's? The h's now go away. The h's now go away. So now, what this thing represent, it is super magical right here. This, when I plug in any x value, is the slope of a line at that point. So, all right, what's the slope of the line at 2? 2 times 4 is?
8.
Minus 3 is?
5.
There we go. So at any single point, what is the slope of the line at 0?
3. Minus 3.
Negative 3. That's super important, okay? That's why I saved this just for today. Questions? You guys are going to have to do a bunch of these ones. So the algebra, it is very algebra intensive. Yes? Yes, it is. That is the derivative, faux show. Okay, all right, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe.